Let's go around the board here. It looks like Sean's up first, representing the Pacific Northwest. Let's hear what you are currently doing with your business. What I'm going to do is go around to everyone, and I want to hear how you're planning, preparing. Obviously, none of us are photographing clients at this very moment. So
no,
you shouldn't be.
No.
that
Shut
is
it down.
that is like the definite no-no. So let's go around the squares, talk about what you're doing, how you're preparing for when we get the all clear. And then I'm going to open it up to questions to people and kind of let the conversation grow organically at that point. Okay, is everybody okay with that format?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sean, you're up.
All right. So I'm in Portland, Oregon. So we just went under a stay at home. I think we're one of 16 states. This is the last time I saw that are under that. So we're not basically doing anything. But for my business, what I've really put a focus on is going back to what I was doing when I first started my business and revamping and not redefining, but definitely bringing my brand back to the forefront of people's minds. So going back to why I'm different, educating clients even more than I would have, and really just putting a focus on connecting with my seniors. So literally it was whatever 2 days ago was, what day are we? Friday? So it was Wednesday, texted every single one of my seniors from the class of 2020, basically just letting know that I'm there for them, checking in on them, letting them know how they are. So really using this time to connect with them on a deeper level, organizing some stuff virtually with the senior team, and really just trying to form those connections, because that's what people are yearning for right now, is they want to connect with people and they're sick and tired of hearing about the coronavirus. So I'm trying to almost put attention off of that with my team. So that's kind of my focus, is really just going back to the brand essentials that I was doing really when I started my business, and kind of going back to the roots.
That's so funny.
If anyone has their audio on, please mute it, other than the speakers, please.
Vicky, you should be able to mute it too, by the way.
I'm looking, I'm not seeing who it is. That's the problem. I'm scrolling because there's so many people on here. Okay, Chelsea, you're up, girl. Tell us about Kansas.
So I feel like the Midwest is a blessing and a curse. We have some individual counties and cities that are on stay-at-home orders, but collectively as a whole, Kansas is still pretty mild in the amount of cases that we have, which is the blessing. But the curse is that means a lot of people don't take this seriously, and they're just out like doing whatever the heck they want to do. There are, people that are still shooting or advertising prom and graduation minis. Like the minute Kansas closed school last week for the rest of the semester, it was like, boom, boom, boom. Let's do minis. I was like, no, don't do that. So we have a little bit of everything here, but we are not currently shut down as a state yet. So for me, my entire sort of life philosophy is like, do not panic. I'm not a panicker. I don't ever panic. Everything's chill. Everything's go with the flow. So first thing, when I got home last week, I had been traveling. I messaged all of my 2020 clients. I gave them the rundown, the lay of the land. I was like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm not doing. We won't be shooting spring minis right now. We're going to postpone all of that. I gave them the update for their grad card options, which was not only extending the deadline I normally give them, but also letting them know we can make any changes you want. Take off a time and date. We can wait and see if they have graduation later, like whatever you want. I am super flexible. I let them know if we still have product orders in the works. I can't guarantee those by any deadline. I let them know I keep them up to speed as far as labs, having shipping delays or having to close. Like my biggest thing is just transparency, being very calm, keeping people informed, and letting them know what's going on, because I feel like when they're informed and you're communicating, it keeps them from freaking out on you later about something. So that's really been my thing with the parents and the client aspect. And then as far as all of my incoming kids or, current seniors, kind of like Sean said, I'm just trying to be really positive on social media. I'm keeping it really interactive. I'm trying to find ways for them to participate in things at home to keep them busy. I've done a virtual movie night with one of my teams. I've set up a weekly senior who everybody gets their address and their information, and the girls are sending each other handmade notes. We're just trying to keep it where they have things to do, basically. And And for me, that's sort of an organic marketing that by doing positive things with them in return, you know, that always, like Sean said, kind of reinforces what my brand is. And so, yeah, that's me.
Okay, Nicki, what are you doing with your business? You're on the opposite end of the Midwest. I'm smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, we're kind of like in between each other. Yeah, so for us, it's been a little bit different. Everything shut down really quickly here. We got some of the first cases. So it's been a different vibe here. We've had empty stores, we've had people panicking. So it's, for us, it's been a lot of staying at home. It's been me getting with my model team and just reassuring them that I'm still going to be there. You know what I mean? And I think that's a really big key for my kids, at least. My parents were emailing me back and saying, I'm just so glad that we're doing the program this year. It's the one thing they've got to look forward to when they get out of this. So I'm just making sure I'm staying in constant contact. I am doing a ton of marketing. I actually was talking to Isaac Coffee, and we're kind of in the same market. We live pretty close. So he gave me a great idea. So next week, my Instagram is going to be completely taken over by my model team. So each day is going to, like, they're doing it in groups though. So like, I think it'd be more fun to do it as buddy teams. So I assigned them into groups, and each day is going to be taken over by certain kids. So we're going to do that. I'm doing a ton to get email marketing in. So I did say that I was going to do some prom minis and some cap and gown minis, but I'm not charging it all. I'm going to give them one free social media file. That's it. But I collected over 700 emails because of that.
Wow.
So I think that's really important. I think really focus on what you can do right now, and that's getting emails. That's making sure your social media branding is like really on target, making sure your model teams and your seniors, your current clients, know that you're really there for them and that you're going to still be around when this is all over.
Perfect. It's great. I saw the form go out for your minis, and I thought that was a great idea. Teri, tell us about California.
Well, Teri or Tara? Oh, sorry.
Teri, you're coming. Don't worry, girl.
Which is great because Tara's Southern California, I'm Northern, so
Right.
it'll be fun to compare those. Well, I personally was a very, very early adopter in completely not shooting, just because I was really sensitive to it, because I have a husband who has an autoimmune disease. I have a daughter who was a nurse frontline, and a son who just had heart surgery. So I was an early adopter, probably, you know, before it was really starting to be talked about, and I didn't even know where this was going, as many of us didn't. I think for the most part, at least the photographers that I'm in touch with here in my own community, they have taken that same approach. Of course, California is locked down, but that really is a very loose meaning to a lot of people. I'm sure that's, you know, throughout the country. But as far as what we're doing through our business, same thing. I think it's really important, number one, to be a leader. I think we're all leaders, and I think that we need to, our teenagers are watching us how we actually handle a crisis, and our parents are watching. Anyone who's watching us is really looking to us to lead and navigate a business through this. So, you know, the first week was just chaos. It was just really chaotic what's happening. Everything was, it seemed like a whole year and a week, at least to me. But the second week, I really started leading with marketing, but with a pivot. In other words, not selling so much as serving. And I think it's a really good opportunity to serve our community, who are our clients and our potential clients. So just a lot of serving. I am really a proponent of keeping in touch with my clients, and you'll hear me talk about this out there every single month. So number one, we took all of our emails off of automation, because I don't know about you, but I get so many emails right now, and I think, do they even know what's going on? You know, so many major corporations, small businesses, and I'm getting that email as if everything's hunky-dory. So we took everything off of automation, did a pivot, and we sent out a couple of emails to my entire client database. Now, these are not people who are looky-loos who just stop by and we've captured their email, but rather anyone who has done business with me in the last, we started collecting emails the last 8 years. I wish it was before. So I sent out an email and I let my entire database watch and see how we're handling this. I spoke to my booked clients and my seniors. We don't have a large team on purpose this year, but we have a small one. So I let my entire client base watch us communicate to the people who were booked, as if they were on the sidelines watching us. And we gave information. We told them what we were planning, that we really are just, taking this day by day. Their health is important to us, their safety, but also looking towards the summer. And I don't say the summer, but I say the near future, as if this is going to be over. I think right now people need to have hope. So we've been giving a lot of hopeful and encouraging messaging out there. This is going to be over. We're going to get through this. Hang in there. Here's what we're going to be doing. We have sunset sessions scheduled for our families, just like we always do. We have our model team sessions scheduled, just like we always do. So we're letting our entire database watch us talk to our booked clients, because it's, number one, a great way to get back in front of them, even if we haven't had a session for the last few years. So that's one of the biggest things. Also, me personally, and I think this is important for all photographers, I'm really digging up those courses that I purchased but never did, because I never have time. If photographers don't take this time, it's a gift, and actually work on our businesses, I think it's a time lost. So what is it that you always find yourself saying, I don't have time for that? Now's the time. Because I personally think this is going to be over as quick as it started, as far as people integrating into the community. Not necessarily the virus, not necessarily, I don't know how that's going to work out. But I do think that people are going to start integrating quick. So anyway, we've really been helping them navigate through all of that, just in our messaging, trying to be positive, hopeful.
Amanda? What are you doing over in Texas? Let's hear.
So for me, it was a little different. Me and my family went to Walt Disney World at the end of February, and we drove through New Orleans and stayed at the main hotel in New Orleans and went to the World War II Museum in New Orleans and touched all the things in the museum. And so that was right when it was kind of, people were starting to be like, I wonder if this is going to affect the states like it is. So when we got back, while we were gone, our son's homeschool teacher was in Washington State for 2 weeks. So we took a 2-week early spring break. She was in Washington, and which is ground zero for this thing. So we all came back, started doing school and everything, and then she starts coughing. She gets a fever. And so we immediately were like, all right, so we're going to stop. We're just for 14 days. Everyone stay in your corners. I started getting sick. I had shortness of breath, cough, fever, sore throat, very light symptoms though, very, very light. So I feel like my email to my clients was a little bit different. Then everyone's kind of like, well, this is what's going on. And I'm like, no, my family is compromised. I could possibly have it. We're shutting down. So I'm not shooting, not doing fashion consults, not doing anything. My makeup artist is still seeing clients at her salon. But again, our county refuses to shut down. So she still sees 10 to 20 people a day and does their hair. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I, as a business owner, had a responsibility to be like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't put my clients in harm's way. I can't put my family in harm's way. So we shut down everything. I sent this email that basically said, when it is medically and ethically responsible to return to shoots, we will get back to shoots. So when I did that, I got a lot of response back from them that said, in the email, I said, thank you so much for understanding. Please know that I am not canceling sessions. We are not canceling sessions. We are just moving them until it's a more responsible time to do this. And a lot of people said, thank you so much for not canceling. Thank you so much for rescheduling. We can't wait. I am still getting like a message or two from like, hey, how you feeling? You know, so-and-so's really anxious to do a session with you. And I'm like, well, she can continue to be anxious because I'm not doing it. I'm just not shooting. And I don't think any photographer should be at this point. So, and then for marketing wise, just pretty much everything that everyone has said, working on connecting more than selling, lots of emails, lots of Instagram. Like I'm sharing more about my family. I feel like this is the time where they're doing nothing better than sitting at home and they're on their phones. That's what they're doing. And so I feel like this is a time where we're really going to see the people who have their marketing understood for their business and their brand presence online understood. I feel like those are the people that are going to soar in this time. And then, because I've already seen a ton of photographers just tank. Like they're not online, they're not doing anything. And don't get me wrong, I understand that it's a totally different situation. We are homeschooling my son. I suck at 5th grade math. It is horrible. It is taking us way longer than it should. So you may not have the time, but I also feel like you kind of have to make a decision too in the late hours of the day when your kids are asleep. Do you jump on the laptop, make a quick couple of posts, get ready and schedule it? Because I feel like right now we're in a race, almost like a marathon, and the people who have their crap together are starting to pull way ahead of the people who don't. And so I think that it's important to have a plan. I've been working with my A-listers about a whole month worth of April plans and what it's going to look like. And that is what's going to bolster you through April. Do I think we're going to get back to business by May? No, I don't. So I think that that's what's going to be the main thing, is marketing for more of a connection. So lots of interviewing my clients, talking to them about, what are you doing? What's your favorite quarantine snack? What's your outfit of the day, quarantine edition? Like, what are we doing here? So I think that those are some really important things that senior photographers can do right now. But on the good end of all of this, I feel like we as high school senior photographers, we've been training for this moment. All the other genres are like, oh my God, what do we do? I don't know. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is great. We're just going to keep posting on Instagram. All these other genres they have no idea what to do. They're like, how do I even like book people right now? Or how do I even do this? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Us senior photographers, we got this. We know what we're doing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Tara, let's hear what you're doing.
Can you guys hear me? I was having technical difficulties.
You're okay.
So we actually, today marks the 2-week anniversary. I basically shut everything down 2 weeks ago. As soon as the kids were told they weren't coming back to school till April, I shut everything down immediately. And I know in our community, people were already panicking because I had so much stuff scheduled for prom mini shoots and, upcoming senior sessions, clients flying in for spring break from out of state. So I immediately put out the feelers like, hey guys, we don't know what's happening. I'm scared too. Like, I'm right there with you. We're not, just like Amanda said, I said, we're not canceling. Let's just postpone. And I let everybody pick tentative dates. I let them pick dates that I said, these might change. It's very possible that maybe we can go with it. And it's also very possible and probable that we're gonna have to reschedule again and maybe again as deadlines gets pushed back. So here they put us in a stay-at-home little mandated recommendation. And of course that next weekend was sunny. So everybody was out, going to Santa Monica Pier and running through the mountains. So yeah. So, I mean, I saw people out and about like as if nothing was wrong, even close friends of mine that I'm like, what are you thinking? And here's the thing is anybody that knows me knows I'm, for the most part, I'm pretty optimistic. I try to see both sides of the coin. And I was like, you know what? This might be terrible and maybe it's really not bad and I'm overreacting, but me personally, I would rather be careful and cautious than careless. So I kind of led with that mentality. And a lot of my clients are my model team girls. So I already had a Facebook chat happening with them for both my 2020 girls and my 2021. And I posted in there almost immediately, like, hey, 2020 girls, I am not done with you. If we need to reschedule prom shoots, like, in fact, I think I posted that same weekend. So 2 weeks ago, I posted, if prom is postponed, which now we know it is, I guarantee you, I will shoot you for prom. I don't care if we have to do it in 15-minute segments and it's me with one person and obviously no hair and makeup. You'd have to do it yourself. I said, this is all uncharted territory. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm here. I totally feel for you. You know, I have teenage kids too. So I saw dances being canceled and I saw a whole lacrosse season canceled and I get it too. And I think them knowing that it affected me as well, you know, as a family member, as a mom, you know, also as a business person, they could relate to that. Excuse me. So things that I've been doing, I've just tried to interact with them a lot. I've tried to be active online. I've tried to comment and engage with people when they're sharing stuff that, you know, this sucks, or, hey guys, this gives us more time with our family. No matter what it was, I just tried to be open and honest with them, you know, how it was on me too. And then I also started giving them just the other day little photo challenges. So I'm only on day 1, but I'm giving them little photo challenges, photo assignments. I'm going to do fun little giveaways just to let them know that I'm still there. I'm still thinking about them. And a lot of the same stuff that everybody else was saying, you know, I did like Amanda from her A-listers. I've been posting, you know, the quarantine, little questionnaires, things like that. And then by giving them the challenges so they can stay engaged, you know, and I'm also going to do that for photographers too. You know, a lot of my following is not just photographers, but it's, you know, obviously my senior clients and people, you know, in the senior industry. So even challenges that I can engage, you know, with my peers and my friends, you know, and I've reached out and actually talked to a lot of my friends that I've kind of lost connection with over the last couple of months when you're busy. So just kind of reconnecting with them, having Zoom meetings. You know, one of my girlfriends had a birthday party, so we had a virtual Zoom meeting and everybody put on, you know, dim the lights and lit candles and sang her happy birthday. And you know, it's kind of our new normal for the time being. So we're just little by little trying to get through it. Yeah.
Sounds great. Is anybody working on blogging? That's on my to-do list to get found more than ever right now for those of us that do blog.
It's a great time to create content for sure. And even if you're not you know, if you create a blog post that can be, you know, repurposed in so many different areas. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I meant to, is that, you know, personal branding is such a big way to market. It is the way that businesses should be marketing. And our industry sometimes hesitates. We're always just showing our sessions and our behind the scenes, and people want to see more than that. Amanda kind of touched on it. She's bringing people into her living room and her homeschooling. Right now is the best time to practice sharing more of you. And so many photographers that I work with, because I love teaching that personal branding aspect, and we're so afraid of turning that camera on our own faces, but practice bringing people into your quarantine, your house. Work at home is a huge hashtag right now. It's a huge trend. So show them what working from home means to you as a photographer. It's just something that's so important, and it's, no one expects to see your behind the scenes. And like, you know, you can't just disappear. You need to keep your face out there. And so one of the ways you can do that is to practice personal branding. Who are you beyond just photographer? Now's a great time.
Yeah,
Exactly. I couldn't agree more, Teri. How about we open it up to some questions unless anyone has anything else to add? Anyone?
I think you've already got some questions if you scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one that someone emailed me, and I want to make sure I get this asked before we move on to the questions that are in the chat. It says, hey there, my question is, once we are all allowed back into the world, and if the economy keeps heading in the direction that it is, what is a selling point to clients when our services are considered a luxury service and not essential, and people are going to be worried about getting back on their feet?
I literally wrote a note about this.
These are essential.
Yeah.
Someone was talking earlier. You want me to go? I remember who was talking earlier, but it triggered, I think it was Teri. It triggered a thought in my brain and I wrote it down. I would never want to imply that we use the struggle or the disappointment of class of 2020 as a selling point, but the way you're seeing parents and seniors react to the end of their senior year being canceled, and they are devastated, they are sad, their parents are disappointed, they feel like their kids are missing out on things, and they feel cheated that they've met. Like, to me, all of the emotions going on in our industry right now with our clients and parents is proof that the thing that we're selling is not like just this frilly, flippy, like, you know, whatever type of thing. You know, I think sometimes people feel like, oh, that's a lot of money for senior pictures, or like, oh, well, we just need a few pictures our friend's gonna take. Like, the experience and the images that they get from what we do, I feel like what's going on right now with class of 2020 is proof that it is important to capture those memories. It is important that they have this experience. Because I've already had kids tell me, they're like, now that I don't have all these other things to finish my year with, their time with me is one of the best memories and experience they have of their year. And
so I actually put it in my email to them when I was postponing everything. I put it in my email. I said, listen, guys, I know that now more than ever, your senior session has so much more importance to it than it did, because your dances are being canceled, your graduations are being canceled, and this may be one of the very few senior memories that you have. I know how important this is. Like, I can sell ice to an Alaskan, what is it called? An Eskimo. So like using that and being in a very positive way, not like weasel, but just like, I know how much more important this is for you guys. And this may be one of your only, so in all of that, I was like, don't cancel with me. But that, just laying that out and saying, it is so much more important now. Your senior session is going to be one of the very few memories that you have. And I'm so excited for that time to come. We're going to make it so special, like push. Yeah, that is something that I think is very important right now.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm in the middle.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm in the middle of volume sports right now. So I'm seeing like upwards of 2,000 kids in a month. It's insane time for me. So I kind of been using it though to get a vibe of like where this is going to go this summer. And I will tell you, I have sent out, I think it was 20 something teams in the last 2 weeks, because I've had nothing to do but sit here and edit. I've had higher averages in the last 2 weeks than I normally average per team. And it's because every single one of these parents are sitting there and they're like, this might be the only thing we have from the season. I've booked 17 teams since we've been in lockdown. And it's because I didn't get pushy. All I did was post, and I sent out an email to every coach I've ever worked with. And I said, this might be the only thing your kids have. I'm like, don't forget to book your team pictures this year. 17 more teams on the schedule. So you can use this to your, I don't want to say advantage, but like, I hate to sound pushy and salesy and stuff, but I wasn't, I promise I was not. But you can use this circumstance to drive your sales if you're do it smart and you're not a jerk about it. So
yeah, this is a business. I think that's important that we talk about that. And, and we're finding ways to make this work for us, because if we don't put food on our table and we're not able to pay our studio rent and all of that, how are we going to continue to do this? So I don't think it's a bad, guilty, negative thing at all. I think it's a business.
They're thanking me.
You're telling them how important it is to keep going. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I booked 2 clients this week alone. They want our services. I don't think that is a fear. It's just a matter of when they're going to get our services. So if we just keep putting them on the calendar and saying you're going to move forward on that same day, the next week, until we can do it and it's safe for everybody, then I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah. See, and I've actually found I'm not booking any new seniors because I want to make sure the clients that had to reschedule have first dibs and first priority. And same goes for mini shoots when we were talking about rescheduling, the proms and the mini shoots for my current team coming up for 2021. But one thing that I found, like you guys were talking about how, yes, it is essential now. We're becoming more important because of, unfortunately, what's happened. But I also have so many people too that my clients are kind of marketing for me because they're sharing my pictures and saying, oh my God, I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do this. This is like one of the great memories of senior year. So even if you haven't photographed them, I find that my clients are sharing them more now than ever.
That's awesome. Next question. I had a parent text me last night and asked for suggestions to still send out grad cards to family and friends. What is a good layout to send to this through this time of disruption? What words to place on grad cards?
I would say an announcement and not an invitation.
Yeah.
Class of 2020, graduate, future plans. We have a lot of those kinds of cards in our shop that say, future plans. So they can put in their shop or in the card that says, oh, well, Bryce is going to be going to OSU. I don't even know if that's a college. I just put 3 letters together. And, and she's really excited about blah, blah, blah. She'll be majoring in this, yada, yada. Like that, put that in there. Don't just don't put a date on it. That'll be fine.
Yep. And whoever was good. I think I interrupted Nikki. Go for it.
I've been actually telling all of my seniors that if they go ahead and do an announcement, and I've been using a lot of Amanda's templates because they are worded like awesome for that type of thing. But I've been telling them that if they just want to do announcements for right now, but if they decide to have a party later, we can go ahead and just do like a little business card with their party info and stick it in the envelope. Signs 365, you can get these business cards for like literally pennies, guys. I'm just doing it as a courtesy. If they're buying grad cards with me and they're nervous, I'm like, let's get these at least done. You can at least get their envelopes made. You can get everything ready to send out. And if you can have a party later on, we'll make a little business card and I'll send it to you free of charge.
Right.
Yep.
I have a question. Now that the labs are closing, what are you guys doing?
I was gonna say that was a question that just
I was
popped
like,
up.
oh,
yeah.
But so you know what? I'm still designing everything, and I'm telling them too, if they want to do just like what you said, where they don't put a specific date, because here at our schools anyway, you only get a certain amount of tickets or spots to graduation. So most of the time, it's just an announcement that they're graduating from, school XYZ. And I mean, in my opinion, I'm not doing pickups or anything, order pickups or deliveries just because we're shut down. So the labs being closed too isn't really a big deal to me. You know what I mean? Like when everything's back open. And if they don't understand that, that's kind of on them. I mean, this is affecting everybody. It's not like I personally am choosing not to deliver their grad cards at a certain time. And you can still order with the labs. I just got the letter yesterday from White House. You can still order with them. And when they're back open for production, and it's safe for them to resume work as well, then they'll do that. And I feel like just because I've been open with my clients from day one, they get it. They totally get it.
And it's the same thing for me. I actually just sent out an email right as I got the Pro DPI White House email and basically said, hey guys, here's what's up. My labs are shutting down Friday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Basically let them know that orders that are going to be shipped in the order that they're received, and any grad card stuff that I get in, tonight or today, I'll do my best to try and get those in and out as quick as possible. And like Nikki said, I'm just doing inserts at cost for what it costs me to, if they want to amend it with, whatever date they're planning their party, whatever date their graduation is going to be, where they're heading for college, because some people don't even know where they're heading for college yet, because I think acceptance letters are just about going out right now. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I think as long as you're open and honest with your clients, that's all they're expecting from you. They're not, they know that this is hitting everyone. It's not like there's a single area of life that isn't being touched right now. And as long as they know that and that you're open with them, that's really all I think that they're asking for.
Yeah. And can I just say that, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
I was gonna open up a whole new can of worms though.
So was I.
Okay, well, my thing was,
go ahead.
So that is why this industry really needs to stop shooting together.
Thank you.
For this anomaly. Because what we have seen down here happening is that our seniors, not mine, please dear God, not yet, but some seniors are canceling with the photographers who are being responsible, saying, we're not doing this, we're not shooting. They're going and finding other senior photographers that are willing to shoot with them. And it's like, what? So what you're doing as a senior photographer, if you're still shooting, you're basically putting out a poacher's list of, I'll take you, cancel with your senior photographer that you've had scheduled for months. I'll take you and it's ridiculous. So I feel that we as an entire industry should shut down, because I feel like there are a few of us that are really nervous, that are like, what if I do, then my people are going to go to someone else. Well, we wouldn't have to worry about that if everyone would just shut it down.
Right.
Shut it down. So,
and that's kind of what I was going to say too, when we were talking about the grad cards and like, oh, the labs are closed. What can we do? We shouldn't be ordering and doing stuff, and clients should know that. And I think it looks so irresponsible, and Chelsea, actually what you posted yesterday, which I loved, I'm totally going to do it too. But basically letting people know and reassuring them, the stuff we are posting right now, we are not shooting this right now. This is old content. Just so you know, we are not shooting. We will not be shooting. I'm not doing order pickups. I think for the people that are doing that, maybe to some people they're like, oh great, I get my pictures done. But to everybody else, they look like an idiot and a jackass. They look completely irresponsible. And I think it just looks so poorly on them. Like me looking at it, I'd be like, why is that bozo over there doing a photo shoot? You're a moron. Why are you doing that? And I purposely would run the other way and say, you know what? I'm going to do what's best for the world and wait. Let's put everything on pause for a minute and wait till this kind of blows over until it's safe for everybody.
And going off of that, like in our group chat the other day, let's do, not do shoots that are quarantine inspired wardrobe, maybe.
I love that came up.
Like Chelsea posted it on her Facebook. And I was like slamming my hands together in my living room. Like I was just like, why are people? And here's the thing, it's so tasteless. It's so irresponsible and tasteless. And I get that you need to have a lighthearted blah, 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 whatever, but putting a senior in a hazmat suit with a mask on their face. Chelsea, how did you put it? It was beautiful.
I basically said that a global tragedy is not fashion. Like this is not the time to use what's going on in the world for a styled photo shoot idea.
I agree.
And I'm like you, if you have I'm like, all the teens we work with, we know their meme culture is weird. Like everything's a joke to them. Everything's funny. But what you send privately in group chats and Snapchats and like make jokes about, like to keep it lighthearted or to keep yourself sane, that's fine. And that's private. But everything you guys have talked about today that we've talked about is whatever you're doing right now is reinforcing your brand and your image. And if you are doing grossly like inappropriate shoots right now, like that is telling people who you are as brand. I used to work at a high-end jewelry store, and I take little tidbits with me from my boss. At that time, he was awesome. The one thing he always told us is that every single thing you do, everything you say, everything you do, everything you put out in the world either enhances or diminishes your brand. Every single thing that you put out right now is either helping you or it's hurting you. So
it's really an opportunity to be a leader. It just goes right back to they're watching. The teens are watching us. Their parents are watching us. Our peers are watching us, our industry. And it just really is the opportunity for us to lead and be leaders. And it does completely, like you said, Chelsea, it adds to our brand or takes away.
I think back to what Amanda said, it's very difficult in this industry to get people to be all in, to stop shooting, because let's face it, historically in this industry we're in, people claw each other's eyes out to get to the top. So there's going to be the opportunists that leap on this. And sadly, it's going to happen. I don't know how we're going to be able to stop it.
I even talked about this with my A-listers. And so here's the thing. I feel like the root of the problem is money. That's and of course I can shut my business down because, and maybe, yes, it does come from a place of privilege because I do have an emergency fund and I have priced myself correctly for years so that I can have an emergency fund.
Yes.
And I cannot imagine being a photographer and living literally shoot check to shoot check to shoot check and feeling like I have, if it's either I go out and shoot and maybe we get sick, or I don't go out and shoot and I definitely can't pay my house bill. Like I get that. I understand how, well, no, I don't understand. That's a lie. I can't understand how that feels. But that is why it is also so important for our entire industry to figure out that charging a couple $100 for a 4-hour shoot and 50 different outfits isn't the way to do this. Like, can you imagine if us senior photographers had an entry fee of $1,000? What that would do for the whole industry? Like, it'd be awesome. But I think that that's kind of why people are still shooting, is because they feel that they have to financially. I can't imagine what that feels like. That must be horrible and awful. But I also feel that we can't put a price on our clients' heads, because that's what we're doing by continuing to shoot them, is saying, well, I'll still shoot you even though I went to church on Sunday with 158 people. But if you get it, you get it. At least I got my check. We can't do that.
Well,
so question, the places that are shut down, how does that even work? Like, we're technically on a stay-at-home order. So,
in
I mean,
Ohio,
not that, you know, Ranger Rick is
Ohio,
going to come, you know, ticket me, but maybe.
In Ohio,
Even
there's
fine.
a huge fine, and you can
Okay.
actually have even jail time, up to jail time, to keep
See,
your
that's just
business
not worth
open.
it.
good.
Yeah.
That's not worth it.
So,
But see, down here in Texas, we don't have that.
Oh,
Because by
well, then you
God, the
Texans are
economy is
everybody's
going
gonna fly
So-
to Texas to do a photo shoot.
here's
Okay,
the
so
funny thing,
let's-
though, guys. Is there's
let's-
still photographers in Ohio currently right now shooting, and I know for a fact.
So
And
let's
are you guys
take,
on lockdown?
let's
Sorry,
take
John,
no,
hold on.
let's
Okay.
take fines out of the question. Let's take, you
Yeah.
know, just even you still shooting. Let's also look at your business liability. What is to stop someone? Let's say that someone, they trace it back and you are an asymptomatic carrier or what have you. Let's just play hypotheticals. And now they end up in the hospital and they're on a respirator or ventilator for 10
Don't get
days
me
and they
started.
come out of the ICU with a $60,000, $75,000 hospital bill. They could potentially hold you and your business liable.
Yep.
And that is way less fun than getting $150 for a freaking
Right.
photo.
Yep.
Here's the deal. I want every single one of you to go check your insurance policies for your business. Guess what? They will not cover viral contagions. Will not. There is not one insurance company out there that will cover a virus. So you will not be covered by your business insurance to foot that medical bill.
Nope.
And what let's just say, do you even have business insurance? Let's
Oh,
just
don't even get me
That's
started.
if you did.
I don't want to get too caught up on this topic, but you do need that. Trust me.
Yes.
In this chat, and that means you're in the Senior Style Guide Facebook group, you should have insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they
What do you
don't.
think?
But a lot of them don't, and that makes me sad. Y'all gotta get a business.
It's the best thing you can spend your money on, like
Yes.
by far. Yes.
Yes. For the love of God, go do it. Let's go to the next question. This is directed straight at Chelsea.
Hi.
You find they are interested in these things that you do, or some of them aren't? I'm finding a lot aren't with my business.
That's from Heidi, correct? I saw that earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll answer, but with the preface. I think Heidi is in Sean's area. I think she's in the Pacific Northwest.
Yep, Seattle.
Sean and I discuss this often, that our kids are very different in the way that they just, it's Kansas people, like they're bored out of their gourd. Like they have nothing. That was very Kansas phrase too. They're bored out of their gourd. So I do find that my girls in general, not just during quarantine time, my girls flipping love activities. Anything I put together for them that's like not super cheese ball. Like, I mean, they will do pretty much anything because they love, but that's what I sell. I sell like my brand, my model teams, what I do. Like we're a family, we're a community, we're sisters, we love each other. Like I'm like, your second mom, like, so they're pretty into anything I put out there, but especially right now, they're losing it. Like they are all collectively losing it. They're bored. They want to get out of the house. They need things to occupy them. And so they, for the most part, have been very interested in, I literally got a Snapchat a few minutes ago from my team 19. These girls have been graduated for a year and they're messaging. They're like, can we do an online group party? Like tonight, we're really bored, we're lonely. Can we have an online party? I've done like where we all watch a Netflix movie at the same time. And, like I mentioned earlier, sending letters to each other, they're all on board. So I know that may be different depending on your demographic or your area, but mine love it.
Would it be inappropriate to suggest that y'all all watch Tiger King together?
Oh my God, I'm going to watch it. I just started it.
I keep trying not to watch it. I just keep trying to say no.
I have to.
With adult friends, so that we made a drinking game out of it. I can send it if you like it. I made a drinking game for Tiger King. So
Okay, send it to
With your seniors?
no.
I didn't hear that part. I was
I
like,
watched it with adult friends. You were
Okay,
about to
yes.
fire me. You were
I
about to
didn't
be
hear.
like, get out of
I
the.
was like, she did not just, okay, yeah. we're good.
Next question. I have my model team messaging me to still get shoots in. I keep telling them we will. I want to educate them. Thoughts?
So educate them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell
email
them that you will when it's safe for everybody. And that's the thing. Everybody and everything is on pause right now, or should be. for the most part, especially here where I live. So I just let them know, hey, we're going to have all kinds of fun things. We're going to have more time. You know what? Even if it's past the days of prom or it's past the days of graduation, we will get it done. We're going to have an amazing time. You're going to get 150% from me, if not more. And just let them know. I think just tell them.
Yeah, that photographer is located here in Indiana, and our shooting season is different. We start in August. Typically, we'll get stragglers at the end of the semester, but summers are pretty much quiet for the majority of us. And then we kick it in August, September, October. So our fall is going to be like a double fall, basically. We're just going to have to plan and know that we're putting in the effort this year.
Yep.
And I have the same season as you, basically, Vicki, and that's kind of what I'm planning for. Is I'm expecting September, October, and November to be insane. So I'm just prepping for that, and I'm getting ready for it. But on terms of your model team and educating them, you take the role of that. So however you lead them is how they're going to follow. So if you're getting tons of questions, then you need to sit down, get them all in line and say, listen, guys, this is why we're doing this. This is how it's going to happen. I'm in charge and we're going to do it this way, because they will run you ragged if you don't get it on that right now. So that's just my little 2 cents.
I agree.
And I think
I also think that if this turns around, and we don't know, none of us know, we don't have a crystal ball. I think summer is going to be an excellent opportunity for photographers to do catch up with this class. They don't just want it to be over. They're going to be hungry to celebrate. I have many of, going back to grad cards, many of our moms have said, stop. I mean, we had grad cards that were all ready to be sent out, and we're just stopping them. They're on hold. We're going to reinsert dates. But this summer is going to be busy. I think, photographers, just hang on. It's going to be okay. We're going to get back, and it's going to be a crazy busy summer. If you really, like Tara says, keep in touch with your clients, keep communicating, and plan, take control, and it's going to be a good summer.
Our school system is saying it'll be July, August, whatever, we are going to have graduation. So I think that's going to be the sentiment throughout the country. And
we'll come back.
And I also think that it's okay. I feel like it's really interesting because on social media, everyone has the answer. Everyone's like, here's what you should be doing in this time. Here's what you should be doing. Are you a photographer? Are you a creative? This is what you should be doing. And I'm like, did we go through this? And I missed the months where we all took notes on what to do. I feel like it's okay for us to say, to email our seniors and their moms and say, hey,
we don't know.
I am abiding by our local government's rules and regulations, kind of throw it off on them. And I am waiting for updates from them as well. While we're doing this, we can do all this other fun, cool stuff like side and don't worry. And we're going to, reschedule and not cancel. But I think it's okay for us to not have all the answers constantly. I think it's okay for us to say, I don't know. Whenever this gets back to normal, I'll email you immediately. You're my number one priority. Like, I think that's okay to say, because everyone else is like, oh, well, you should be doing this. And I'm like, says who? Like, when did this happen? And I love that Vicki posed the question to us at the very beginning of this. What are you doing for your business? It wasn't just a lot of people who really don't know how to handle this for the whole country. We're just sharing what we're doing with our business. Like, I don't know what else, and if it works, great. Then we can share. But if not, okay, we'll figure something else out. We're treading water along with everybody else. Yeah.
And kind of going off of that, what Amanda said with, we're just figuring this out. If you have an idea or you think that you want to implement something in your business, the worst thing that you can do is try it out and it doesn't work. Like, there are no consequences. And then you know what? You learn that doesn't work. But for what we are doing and what we figure out, that we might be able to implement next year or the year after that had a super high engagement, or our followers or clients absolutely loved it, then we know what to do next year. So use this as an opportunity when literally everyone is glued to their phone. If you haven't started a TikTok, now is the time to start a TikTok, because they're on it more than I know Amanda's gonna. But I'm
I
serious.
know.
Everyone is glued to their phone and they're consuming that hours and hours and hours a day. So use this to your advantage to put out good, solid content on every social media platform and connect and engage with your clients and your followers.
I'm also going to start getting on Facebook. Sorry, Chelsea.
I'm sorry.
I haven't posted on my Facebook page in years. Guess who is at home with all these kids?
Mamas.
Their mamas. So I'm going to start like just hitting Facebook as hard as possible. And I'm going to go back to 2019 clients and start posting and just start catching up because now why not?
Yep. And you know what? Kind of going what Sean. Oh, sorry, Chelsea. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, along with what Sean said, this is like I feel like the silver lining to a lot of this is one of the only times you are guaranteed that you have a captive audience. Like, they are right here, and so like Amanda said earlier, if you are like woe is me and you're not posting right now and you're just sort of like letting everything else get in the way, like you're wasting really precious time where they are looking at everything that you're doing. And you have a guaranteed audience who's watching and looking at you.
Well, and I saw somebody else had mentioned, they tried sending their clients questions and they're getting crickets. Nobody's responding. Okay, so that's maybe not working in your area. In my area, the kids are like, oh my God, yes, let me fill this out. I want to be featured. So if that's not working, maybe try the TikTok. If that's not working, maybe try where you let them have a takeover. Like I think somebody who said that earlier, they're going to do a takeover,
Nicki.
like let their client. Yeah.
Me.
So try that.
I'm actually going to give them, because I have a TikTok. Sean and I have talked about this. I really try, but I'm also not a person to get in front of my clients. Like I'm really bad about that. So TikTok for me is like so scary. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not what me. I don't get up and dance in front of people. Like that's just not it. So I gave my whole 2021 and 2020 model team my password. And as of Monday, it's fair game for all of them.
Nice.
They're going to run it for me.
Yep.
Okay. So, and I told them, as long as it's not inappropriate, have at it. Have some fun, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to have a presence there, but it's going to be my kids, not me doing it. So,
yeah. I have a question here. Kelly wants to know, I was just starting to advertise for my 2021 team. Is anyone else in the same boat? What are you doing to advertise and build a team for 2021?
I already did mine.
But I have a suggestion for her. I actually wrote down her question also. I saw her question while we were talking earlier. Really the only thing I do that couldn't be done right now is like an in-person meet and greet or party, or, I know people do, Tara, you do model meetings, right?
Yep.
So, but I think like what we're doing right now, like just adapt, either have a virtual meet and greet and let your applicants come into a Zoom call and like chat with each other. And you can still see the same things we see at an in-person meeting.
Yep.
How do they interact with each other? Are they positive? Do they participate? Are they talkative? Or is there one that's like a wallflower? Like you can still do a digital team search, do your applications online like always, and then either do one-on-one interviews online or a virtual online party or whatever. And you can still do that whole process right now, I think, as long as you just convert it to being digital. But you can
100.
still face-to-face with them, which would be really fun for them right now too.
100%.
It would give them something to take their mind off of it as well, like, to be able to go through the process.
Yeah, going off of what Chelsea said, this isn't a senior team, but my team that I did about 2 or 3 years ago, I guess 3 now, I actually did it entire virtually. So I actually never met with them in person and basically conducted all the meetings on Skype or FaceTime or Zoom. And you can basically do everything that you would in an in-person meeting. You can share your screen so you can have, a slide deck or a model magazine to go through them with. And you can do it all virtually because it's pretty much the same as in person. You're just not in person with them.
My question is, are they spending money right now with everything going on? Because usually in a period of an economy where things happen like this, people won't spend any money. Are they spending money and buying into the program, or are they?
I think Madison even asked down here, it says the money aspect of the team is yucky to me right now, which is basically what you're saying. So,
yeah.
My applications were sent out before all this started, and people
mine too,
and then owing me money. So
I had all my deposits
I would suggest setting up a really flexible payment plan system.
I was just gonna say that.
Okay.
Because and I know I'm actually switching over to Square Installments for payment plans. I got a notification they paused that, but you can very easily set up a payment plan and break it into 3 payments, because likely, you know, those are probably, by the time you really we start to get out of this and you start doing stuff, it's probably going to be about the time that you're finishing up those last of the payment plans, and just let them know that you know, the first shoots or whatnot is dependent on full payment of the model program fee.
Yeah. And can I piggyback on that for 1 second too? So I would highly recommend the payment plan. I get the whole money aspect. I completely agree. And I know somebody had asked way earlier about virtual ordering sessions, whether we're still doing those or if we're putting everything on hold. So when this first started and I basically said, I'm not leaving my house, I'm not doing ordering sessions, pickups, none of that. I did online ordering sessions, which is what I did for my out-of-state clients anyway. So I do still have clients ordering, and I tell them, look, I know the money is scary right now, or, you know, they tell me, you know, it's scary to spend this without knowing what's going on, and just offering them a payment plan, because some money is better than no money, and they still want their products. They still want to have them. So, you know, I might break a few rules that I normally had in place just to kind of make it more easy on everybody financially, but it's still revenue that comes in. Mind you, it's not a lot because most of my clients had already paid and done that. But I think, you know, if you are, you know, dead set on wanting to start a model team or something right now, offering them, you know, a payment plan or a bonus or something in this time is totally doable.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe think about, go for it, Teri.
Well, I was just going to say, it's all about pivoting. And our model team, one of the things that was always been very unique is that we would always we have a different shooting period here in California probably than Midwest back east, but we have our meetings in February and our shoots start in June. So we always have had them sign the contract in February, but no monies were due until June. The kicker was, if you want to show up, if you want to participate in the shoot, you have to have paid. You can easily do that in this time period as well. And then just, you know, be flexible with it. It's something like, what if, you know, all of a sudden we're out of this in June and you've set up a payment plan that doesn't get paid until July or August? I think we have to extend some grace in this situation. And, you know, say, you know what, we're still going to shoot her. Depending on, you know, what you want to set as a policy, you can say, but we're not going to give digital access to it until it's paid. So there's so many different things that can be explored. And this is completely uncharted waters. Like there is no playbook. So pivoting, being flexible is 100% okay for your business. Just make sure that contract's signed.
The next question is for Tara. And I believe that you just started it, but how are they doing with your cute photo challenges?
I literally just started it yesterday. But what I'm doing, I have quite a few people that are doing it. Now what I'm going to also do though, is I want to give them prizes, because I don't know about you, but most people want to know they're going to get something for doing the photo challenges. I would. So I have all kinds of different ideas, and I've actually reached out to other vendors and friends of mine. Like I have a really great friend whose hair salon, you know, they had to shut down. So she's going to be a guest judge one day. You know, we're going to have like a quarantine style hair wars where I come up with like the coolest, craziest, you know, hair ideas, makeup ideas, and have my makeup artist judge it. Even have like a local clothing boutique, you know, judge the outfit of the day, things like that. And then I'm also, you know, maybe going to ask a couple of my clients, you know, maybe if I do a challenge that's strictly open to my 2021 girls or 2021 team, let the 2020 girls vote on who the winners are. And then whether I give them like a free shoot, or a Starbucks gift card or something like that, just something that's going to be fun for them. It doesn't have to just be photo related. You know, maybe I go to their house, which I'm not supposed to leave, but let's just say I did leave because I haven't left in 2 weeks, and, you know, bring them a stack of toilet paper or, you know, whatever. You can totally do whatever you want. Just make it fun for them, make them want to participate. And you might have some that are totally into it. Like I notice I have the same clients and the same team girls that do it over and over and over, and some that literally show up for their free photo shoot and I never really see them again. So, you know, some want to do it and some don't, and that's totally okay. But at least giving them the opportunity to do stuff and participate, I think is really important.
Okay. Next question. How do you let your team take over your social media for a day? I think you kind of touched on that, Nicki.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've never done it before. This is going to be uncharted waters. I'm making a new password. I'm going to reset my password on Insta for each kid, for each group. So that way it's constantly changing. I'm not going to give them like my password and it's just going to stay open forever. So for every 24 hours, I'll change it. They're so excited. Like they've already come up with a plan. I made them send me an email with an actual plan. They had to have 6 things that they are for sure going to do, how they're going to complete them. It gave them something to do, guys. They are so excited. So they've got some really funny things planned. So you'll have to see starting Monday. So
That's cool.
Just
And if
be
you
sure to
don't-
go in through your DMs and delete anything that you don't want them to see.
yeah, I've actually went through and deleted every single DM before I gave any passwords out because I was like, yeah, they don't need to see any client communication. So
Yeah.
And if you don't want to give out your passwords, just have them do it on their own Instagram and just have them
Send it to
save
you.
it and just text it to you too. And you can upload
Yep.
right there. They can still use the filters, tags, all that
That's
stuff.
better. That's a better
yep.
your way of doing it.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, this for me, it's totally new. I had no idea how to do it. I was just like, let's do it, guys. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I wanted to be, I will say the girls that are doing it for me most of them have been in my model team since they were in 8th grade. So it's not like I don't know these kids. Like I have a personal relationship. So for me to say, here's my password, it's like Jordan I've known since she was 6th grade. I'm like, girl, you're good. We're good. You know, so if it was some girl that I just met 2 weeks ago, there's no way I'd give the password over. So.
Okay, this next question, I'm going to go first on this. Chelsea knows this is a hot button with me. What about the labs that are closed? We all want our clients to be loyal to us, correct?
Yep.
At the end of the day, our labs are going to open back up. Be loyal to the ones who have served us and served our businesses. Everyone's pretty much on the same playing field, so stick with the people who have stood by you and helped you along the way.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything to say about what about the labs that are closed?
Yeah, I actually literally about 10 minutes before I hopped on this call, got an email directly from ProDPI. And if they have the time when their labs are getting slammed with last minute orders to give a call and check in and make sure that what you ordered was correct, please don't let that go just because one lab is still open. Stay loyal to your labs because, you know, if you're not, these are the companies that are going to get hit really hard when people start hopping ship, and you're going to really miss that level of customer service and that personal attention that you're getting from those amazing labs. So shout out to White House and ProDPI.
Amen.
That makes you no different than the people canceling sessions with you and going to another photographer who's running at this time. And not even to like touch on it, but in order for you to do a quality lab check, you're going to have to do a whole monitor calibration, send in test prints. So are you going to send crap photos that are probably way too warm or too saturated? Just stop. Why would you go to a different lab? Are people doing that, Vicki? What's happening? Are people?
I hope not.
There's been threads that I have seen. People are worried. Where can I go now? Where can I go now?
That's gross.
And you have a really good point. Like the risk involved with ordering client products from a lab you've never used, you may be throwing money out the window because if it comes to you and it's horrible and you end up waiting until your lab reopens and ordering it again, like just.
Okay, so here's my big question. If we're all in quarantine and locked down, what are they doing with the products they want anyway?
Well,
They just want to sit in their house and look at their album? Guess what? Make them a virtual one and show them on the computer. Like they don't need the tangible product right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I had a client that ordered last night. It was a $7,000 order. And I was like,
okay, whatever.
But like I worked with her and I got them. And of course, right when I was like, okay, great. I got the email from ProDP. I was like, okay, crap. And so I was like, listen, I will try and push this thing through. And we were texting back and forth, which I never text my clients. That's one of my big no-nos, but I did. We got it all pushed and I was like, so listen, if it happens, it happens. If not, we'll be top priority when they get back. So, yeah, I'm not, why, no, don't print with someone else. That's crappy.
Just think about how you feel when someone goes and books another photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how you feel before you jump ship. And I am a big White House pro DPI person. So I say stay loyal and stay true. We're all going to get out of this. All of our orders are going to be coming out around the same time.
Yep.
It's going to be okay.
I feel like people, those are decisions based on fear. Those are decisions based on panic. Oh my God, I need to get this order out. Why? Like, no, that's just, stop making decisions based on fear and panic.
Well, and that's the thing. Nobody's having grad parties. Nobody's having get-togethers. Nobody's doing anything. So even though they want those images, you know what? That's what I told my clients as soon as we went on lockdown is if you ordered your digitals, which the majority of people did, I'm going to reopen all of your galleries. You can have access to them right now. You don't have to go search for your thumb drive. I'll reload all of your galleries, which I use Shootproof. They can download them again right there. Make their own little cute album. Maybe make a cute little virtual album for them. Or a cool slideshow. Do something.
If we're expecting, okay, I'm back on my soapbox. If we're expecting these labs to be open, we are expecting people to leave their families.
Right. Yep.
And be in a situation that they should not be in. So at the end of the day, it's really essential. Is it worth it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm done. I promise I'm done. This just bothers me on so many levels. Okay, let's go to the next question here.
Tara, I love your glasses. Those are super cute.
Oh my God, thanks. It's because I'm going blind, so I can't see. So I'm like, wow, you guys look way better right now. Did you guys all put on makeup? I'm just kidding.
Wow, thanks, Tara.
And you know what, though?
I did. Thanks for noticing this morning.
You're welcome. The other thing too, I mean, I know for me personally, I mean, even, maybe make some new layouts for yourself, go and watch those videos like we were talking about earlier. I think it's very important to obviously cater to our clients, but we need stuff that's going to fill our cup up too. So we can't sit in front of the TV 24/7. I've been playing around with retouching. I've been trying to make presets. I've been trying to finally finish my new senior magazine that I wanted for my 2021 class. Find other ways that you can be fulfilled as well. I think that's also very, very important. Maybe watch Tiger King, watch something, get away from it all for a minute too. Cause I think,
that's like personally fulfilling, but
yeah.
Well, sponsored by Tiger King, I'm convinced.
No. I haven't even watched it yet, but I'm very intrigued.
A lot of the questions here are about seeing the shoots, seeing the images come across. Just don't like it. Don't give it attention.
Yeah.
Move on next. Don't give them what they're wanting. They're posting.
Well, and why don't we, if we post, because I plan on posting behind the scenes for my past clients, I'm going to put a cute little PNG sticker on it and say, this is throwback or BTS from a March shoot, warning, not a live shoot, something like that we're just kind of putting that in together.
Remember when?
Yeah.
Always
Connie asked a question that I think you can answer. Can you
what
see
is it?
4 questions up. That's a Sean question. Sean made a profile picture overlay for Facebook, and then all of my seniors were using it, and it was like Sean questions, and I was like, "Excuse me, where did this come from?" Rude.
Yeah, don't open up that can of worms. You get a lot of angry photographer messages that think you're stealing their photos. Yeah, because they don't know what a Facebook frame is.
Oh, I'm just teasing you. I knew that they chose to use.
Yeah. So Facebook's gone in and now you can limit it by your mileage radius, but from my experience, it's very hit or miss for how well that actually is filtering out. But if you do want to open up that can of worms, you can just go to Facebook frames, and I think you just set it up as like a 2048 by 2048 PNG file, and Facebook frames will. You just Google Facebook frames and it'll be a pretty easy upload process. You can hashtag it, all that stuff. But I think those are super popular right now, where you can just do a little something like I don't know, 2020 senior, and then add your whatever little spin on it.
It's kind of like old school custom Snapchat filters. Anybody remember?
Sean made a few for push back in the day, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
Let's see here. A lot of people are talking about their blogs. Can I get caught up on my blog and post 1 per day or 3 or 4 per week? Or will that mess anything up, SEO, etc.? No.
Dude, I blog a lot, and I'm not very good with content, but I do blog quite a bit. You can backdate blogs, guys. So you can go through and say, oh, this senior was shot actually last October. Backdate it to that, because then it helps your SEO. You know, it helps everything. Trust me. Just go back. If you're like, crap, I haven't blogged in 2 years, and you want to catch up on all these, date it the right dates, guys. It'll make it look like you've just done 3 years of blogging, and you've actually done it in the last week. So.
Or my blogging strategy, I never post blogs right after I've shot the senior, and that's actually on purpose, because what happens is during the session process, you are going from sneak peek to product shot, basically kind of everything all crammed into one. My blog strategy is I actually post it in my slowest times of the year, and I text it or email the link out to my seniors and their parents, because what's the very first thing they're doing? They're going to post this back to their Facebook page.
Yep.
And now you're driving traffic, and it's in your slowest time. So you now are creating word of mouth when basically you don't have really much going on. And
Sean,
now
you're so smart.
I wouldn't say that, but it works. And now all of a sudden you're catching the 2020 attention, 2021, and basically kind of sandwiching those two classes. And at the bottom of each of my blog posts, I basically just have now booking class of whatever, and a little link to my contact page on my website. So if, you know, their friends or whatever are seeing that and they want to learn more about kind of my senior portrait process, now that's right in the blog post. So I actually don't even backdate. I just do it months later, and they don't even know that I'm supposed to be blogging in the first place.
I don't blog.
I know.
I just got finished teaching a new intern how to do my blogs, and now be around her, and now I have to do them.
Chelsea, but could she do it virtually? Could you just send her the pictures and let her do it?
Well, so I have a laptop that my interns come and go with. Like, they'll take it home and work sometimes and then bring it back. So I was in like North Carolina when this all started and had my laptop. So, and she babysits a couple of little kids. So we haven't had any contact right now. So yeah, I had just finished her like learning how to do all that, and now I get to do it.
Does anybody else have any questions? One thing that someone did post that I thought was great, send your lab a message, let them know you're still rooting for them on the sidelines. I'm sure they're nervous. They've got employees, they have families. Send them an encouraging note that you're going to be there when they're back up and running.
One of my best friends, he's a designer, and his wife works with White House Custom Color. And you guys, what are they going to do? Like, it's a whole situation. And so, yeah, I like that. Just send them a note.
Well, I feel like it's the same thing as us saying as photographers too, that we have to shut down. Yeah. They're just doing what they feel is right, and you can't fault them for that. So
no.
And I'm sure that they did not make this decision lightly, and you know, this is what's best for them as well. One thing, those of you that are going to blog, as you're blogging, be thinking about sessions you could submit, because you could get exposure having your sessions featured as well. Don't forget to tag on Instagram. Keep getting top of the mind awareness. We're going to be watching. We're going to be looking. So hit the website, hit submit, go to our Instagram, use the hashtag Senior Style Guide. Get out there, be seen, have bragging rights, have street credit with your clients.
And I think another great thing to remember during this time is this isn't going to be forever. And I feel like we're all kind of like, oh my God, the new normal. No, it's just a temporary normal.
Yeah.
It is, we're figuring this out right now, but it's not going to be like this forever. And even my my financial advisor this morning because I called him and I was like, so do not check your 401ks, do not check your retirement accounts at all during this time. But he needed to remind me, just Amanda, don't forget the economy is going to come back up. Yeah. If you buy in now, think about all the money that you can make. And that's the thing now, if you sit with your business now and put a little bit of love into it, think about how much better that's going to set you up for the future when everything gets back to normal. And I'm saying when, not if, because it will go back to normal. It absolutely will.
Yeah, I think what the economy actually did its best week this week, despite the 25% or the 30% drop, but it actually posted its best week
that
in
stimulus
like a 2-year
bill coming
period
in.
just this week. Yeah, so
yeah, and it's only going to get better. They said that right now it's at 2008 discount basically. Remember when the recession hit and everyone was like, God, I should have bought into all these stocks and everything in 2008. Well, now's your chance because we're back, or we were 3 days ago, but keep going. So yeah, don't stop. Just keep going.
Faith, hope, and extended grace to people.
Yeah.
Have extended grace.
Definitely. I can't thank all of you enough for, especially those of you in California, you got up early. I mean,
it was 10 a.m., Vicki. It wasn't that bad.
Well, okay, Tara, I'm not setting an alarm. Is anybody here setting an alarm? What's the point?
Nope.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so we're just kind of like rolling with it as it comes. And 10 a.m. is early for me, Tara, right now.
Fair enough.
I miss my 6:45 a.m. routine. I miss those productive hours, but I'm taking it as my cue to slow down, put systems in place, and be prepared for when we get the all go.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. I know you gave up an hour and a half of your time. I appreciate it. I know everybody who has signed up appreciates it. Everyone on the replay, I've got messages here. They're saying they've got so much information. They can't thank you enough. So thanks again.
You're very welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
If anybody has any questions, bring it over to the Senior Style Guide private group. We will be answering your questions, and we have videos lined up for next week. So don't think this is where it stops. This is just where we're starting. Talk to you all soon.